Hello everybody, Incon here with our first of our Season 4 starter stuff, guys. It's just going to be a generic build here for hunters in the mid lane. So, step one question you're probably asking, why are you making me a hunter build guide for the mid lane? I'm playing mages in the mid lane because mages play mid. Well, you would be correct, except for in Season 4, mages are not the best mid laners. Hunters are the best mid laners. So that's why I'm actually going to be doing this first before I make and release a mage build, because I want to give you guys the best ability to basically just go right into your games playing the best characters in the role. So yes, hunters are the best mid laners right now. In particular, you're looking at any hunter that's really good at clearing. It's Tsunami, Apollo now that they buffed him for Season 4. And any of those gods have got pretty good clear for the mid lane. Not your Artemises and your Xibalankes, more so those heavy clear hunters. Why is that? That's because these characters are going to be able to really easily solo jungle camps, and jungle camps are very, very important right now, guys. Because you basically have to solo them as a mid laner quite often, whether it be a mid harpy camp, red buff, oracles, back harpies, whatever. You have to be able to solo them, and you have to be able to solo them quickly so you can get back to your lane. Hunters thrive in that position, particularly with the build we're going to be running. So, getting into the build, guys, this build will work on any hunter mid. Yes, you can change it around a little bit. Go for it. This is the build that works the best for me, and I want to talk about basically the only part of the build that I personally ever change, and that's going to involve whether you get lifesteal or not. So we start off, you're going to have a couple options. You either go Death's Toll, Bluestone Pendant, and you get Boombas, okay? For almost every god, I'm going to recommend you get Death's Toll and Boombas. For Itsunami in particular, definitely Death's Toll Boombas. You don't need the Bluestone to help with your clear. You can get Bluestone if you feel like you need the clear on certain gods. Chiron needs a little bit of help with his clear, so Bluestone can help. Sometimes Anher wants a little bit of help with his clear. But for the most part, safety first, you're going to get Death's Toll and Boombas. What the hell, Incon? I'm a mid laner. Why am I getting Boombas? Well, remember how we talked about how you have to do a lot of jungle camps? So not only does Boombas Max give you 50 health and mana, combined with your Death's Toll, which gives you 100 health, so you actually have 150 health at the start of the game, plus you get the sustain from the Death's Toll passive, plus now you're getting the sustain from the Boombas passive. So 1, ability, basic attacks deal 15 true damage to jungle camps. Boom. Hunters, clearing the buffs. Abilities do 15% bonus damage. Boom. Killing it gives you 15% of the monster's health and restores 25 mana and gives you an additional 4 gold. All of those things you want. So you're going to start with Death's Toll plus Boombas. Then you're going to get 1 health potion and 3 mana potions. Or you can go 2 mana and 2 health. I lean towards just doing 1 health and 2 mana, which leaves you with 50 gold left over, which I use to put out a ward, at top tier gameplay. You may not need to do that wherever your bracket may be, so you can get an extra potion. If you're not comfortable only getting 1 health potion, go 2. Do not get more than 2 health potions. Mana will be a problem before health is a problem, as long as you're clearing the jungle camps, because you'll get your health back from the jungle camps. Moving into the actual build. Core build, of course, we're getting our boots first. You're getting Warrior Tabi. You're going to get attack speed from a lot of the other items in the build. You do not need to get the attack speed boots this early. You're going to, particularly on Itsunami, because you'll really overcap your attack speed with Itsunami once you factor in her 1. So just get Warrior Tabi on all the hunters you're running in the mid lane. Next up, we're going right into critical chance, guys. Poison Star. So why Poison Star? So for those who don't know, this tree got buffed. Both Poison Star and Wind Demon got buffed, because when I thought Wind Demon, I thought, man, that item needs a buff. So what they did is they added attack speed to these items. So this tier 2 tree now gives 10% attack speed. The tier 1 gives 5% attack speed. And they now both give attack speed. You see, Poison Star gives 15%. Wind Demon only gives 10, but it gives an extra 5% critical chance comparatively to Poison Star. You're going to get Poison Star first for 2 reasons. One, it's 400 gold cheaper, so you can get it earlier. Two, the passive is quite efficient. Wind Demon obviously makes you attack faster, move faster, but quite often in the early game, making your enemy 20% slower is going to be more effective for your team as a whole, because then your team can catch up as well to somebody instead of giving just yourself that 20% movement speed to keep up, if that makes sense. So you go Poison Star first. Then after Poison Star, you're going to go right into Wind Demon. So you're starting off with double crit items. This is going to give you 60 physical power, 25% attack speed, 25% critical chance, plus, of course, both of those passives. Both of those are relatively cheap. That's only 4,800 gold for both of those items. You can get them online pretty quick. Now, this is the only part in the build that's going to be interchangeable. Okay? I always go Warrior Tab by Poison Star Wind Demon. Every time. There's no reason not to. The crit chance is so strong. If you get an early crit on somebody, you immediately win the fight. Looking at our damage items, this is where I go Fatalis. So this is going to be an item that if you don't want to put Fatalis in your build, you don't have to. If you put Fatalis in your build, you cannot get lifesteal. Without lifesteal, your positioning matters a lot more. But with the way that they've reworked Fatalis, so Fatalis now has 10% less attack speed on it, but it gives 10 penetration. Fatalis lets you gas pedal insanely strong right now. I mean ridiculously strong carry potential coming from this item. A lot of Hunter players are moving away from lifesteal. And so if you want to experiment with it, go for it. If you're not going to get Fatalis, go ahead and get yourself an Aussie. That's totally fine. I wouldn't recommend ever getting Aussie on its Tsunami. I would always go Hasten Fatalis on its Tsunami just because of the way her auto attacks work with lifesteal. But basically on every other Hunter, if you want to, feel free to get Aussie instead of Fatalis here. I will basically always be going Fatalis. Next up, you really need more penetration, so we go right into Titan's Bane. This is going to give you that 33% physical pen. Of course, it works against towers, it works against objectives. Then you've got a 10 flat pen from your Fatalis, just a little extra oomph. Finally, you're going to be finishing up this build with the Deathbringer. It's going to bring up your critical chance to 50%, give you some nice flat power buff here at the end, since you've already got a ton of attack speed through your double crit items here, plus your Hasten Fatalis and your Aussie. You've got plenty of attack speed. And that's going to be your full build. Of course, you have to sell your starter items at some point, but you're looking at Warrior Tabai, double crit into Hasten Fatalis or Aussie, depending on who you're playing, and then Titan's Bane Deathbringer. As far as your actives go, pretty consistently, you're going to be starting the game with either Aegis or Purification Beads. How do you tell the difference? How do you know which one you should be getting? If they have an immense amount of crowd control, you're saying your Ymir's, Athena's, Isis, Thor's, that kind of composition, Sobek, something that's going to pluck you, Ares. Make sure you get those Purification Beads. If they're majority big damage coming at you, Execute, if you're looking at a Thanatos, Aegis works great against Thanatos, Thothel, Scylla ult, Poseidon ult, quite a few other characters as well. If you're looking at that big burst damage, make sure you go ahead and lean towards the Aegis as your first active. Wow, not even actives anymore. Relics. The only leeway you have here, basically, as a mid-hunter, if you don't want to get one of those, for the most part, if you're not going to get one that's going to be Aegis, you pretty much have to get Purification Beads at some point. If you don't have to get your Aegis in the game, if you're not worried about it, Bracer's not a terrible idea. It's very unexpected. It can help you win 1v1 fights very well. The extra cooldown works particularly well on certain characters. It works better on mages than it does on hunters. Think like Isis getting an extra spirit ball out, stuff like that. But it's not a terrible idea on some of the hunters. I mean, hell, put it on Tsunami and then you get an extra 1. You can throw out your 2 an extra time, or you get your attack speed back up from your 1 a little bit earlier. There is options to work with. Of course, consumables, just your normal stuff, have your bar ready to go. Only exception there is when you get to the end of the game, make sure you're buying the new actives. By actives, I mean consumables. Flickering Ritual is going to be your #1 buy. If you can only buy one thing, get Flickering Ritual. This is just Combat Blink. If you can buy a second thing, you're going to buy Frenzied Ritual. You're going to pop this for your team as the team fight starts, as you start to burn a tower, as you start to burn an objective, whatever. Always get Combat Blink before you buy Potion of Might. This is not as important as this. Living or initiating is way more important than an extra couple of damage, okay? Always get this before this. If you want to get this instead of this is fine. But for the most part, you're going to want to always get Flickering Ritual and Frenzied Ritual at the end of the game before you get your potion. And you'll almost never buy a 3k pot because this is just way more important in the middle of a team fight. Alright guys, hope you learned something here today. I'll be coming out with, of course guys, a ton of mid guides this season as I am a mid player for Flashpoint this spring split. I'll have a mage build guide out next. Followed pretty soon guys, I'm hoping to have a tier list out as well as getting into specific gods, how to play them, what you want to do with them in game, your rotations, warding guides, all that good stuff, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because you've always got a chance to win up to 8,000 gems by liking and commenting on these videos. Thank you guys for watching, as always. Have a twitchin' day, y'all. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-boo. The final countdown.